So what I'm going to do here is that's a little bit bright. I'm going to pull in a little bit of brown, tiny bit, and I'm going to follow this shape. We are going to use our rake brushes here shortly, but let's get this in first. I feel like it's still a little bright. Wash off my brush a little bit. I'm going to get more brown. Okay. And this is going to be shadowed up under his hat. Go ahead and go over his, if you drew his eyelashes in, go ahead and go over that, okay? So then I'm going to go in through here and then lift off, lift off, lift off. All right, we're going to get a little bit of dark brown in through here. Little bit, and get some color in through here, and then we're going to go on the other side, and we can highlight this afterwards too. Might have to put a little bit of highlight through here. Long strokes, lifting off, little bit of water. You're not dry brushing right here, okay? And then as I go up here, we want to add just straight brown, okay? A little bit more brown. I'm going to pull down. Just get a little color under there, but nothing, that stands out too much. And it's the same. I put my hand through that. Oh, see the paint here? I'll show you how to take it off. So it's the same like right here under his nose, his beak. You need to put a little bit of darkness in here. Just a little bit. All right. After that, grab a tiny bit of white, a little bit. And we're going to scuff like right in this area, tiny bit, okay? So we're going to move to our rake brush. All right, here's our rake brush. This is a 1/2 inch. A lot of people like to use the 1/4 inch. I would say our whole studio likes to use the 1/4 inch, and I love the big one. So it's up to you. If you got a kit from us, you have a 1/4 inch one in there, okay? When you're using a rake brush, you have to water down your paint. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit of we're going to work on these wings. So I'm going to use a little bit of my raw sienna, which is my light brown, and a little bit of white. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to work here first. So we use a little dark brown and then a little bit of white, and then we'll come over here with a little raw sienna and a little bit of white. Really fun and easy to put in with a rake brush. So let's start in the center. I'm going to pull out a little bit of my dark brown, okay? You don't need much color at all, just a tiny bit, just the dark brown, because we're going to keep it like dark right underneath here. So we're just going to add a little bit of color in here, and then we're going to add some white to it to brighten it up. All right. So always you have to do the color that's furthest back first, and that would be the dark brown. All right. Need a little bit of this to go in here. All right. I'll let that dry for 1 second, because we don't want to pull the wings in until we have this done, okay? So you could, if you're not comfortable with using your rake brush to put in these, the white lines that we're going to put in now for his belly, you could always use a round brush and do that. So now with this brush, our rake brush, or you can get a round brush, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding like these little curved lines. We're lifting off. We're going to build this up to look like it's like coming out towards you. But you have to lift off as you come down towards the bottom. Set it down very lightly when you're putting this down as well, okay? Curving. Lift off. Okay, lift off. Might have to come back, and we can put a little bit of black or brown in if we need to as well. Okay. If it all like starts running together, you want it very light touches. We can go back over this when it dries a little towards the middle a little bit more. But you can even like go right under, like go make a couple little passes through the sides where these wings are going to be coming in. You can touch those chalk lines, it's okay, but make sure it fades. It's not brighter over there, because that'll make it look like it's just sticking out in the middle a little bit more. Okay. okay? We get a little bit more white. I'll lift off. We can also brighten his toes as well. His claws. I have all the wrong words tonight. Okay, I'm pretty good with that. I think that's okay. Let me go up a little bit further there. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a little bit of my raw sienna. You have to add water to this a couple times so that jagged edge. We always say it looks like somebody chewed these brushes, you know. I actually cut them more when I get them as well. So we have a little bit of your raw sienna with a little bit of white. I like them cut up on the ends pretty good. I'm gonna grab a little bit of darker brown through this too. So I'll grab both and then we'll come back and we'll highlight it with a little bit of white. Pull this in here. I thought he was so cute when I was painting him. He made me smile. Like things that are cutesy like that. Pull this in. Okay. And then we'll come back and we'll highlight it a little bit. And here's a little wing that comes in there. And then we'll put one on this side. Lifting off. I'm using the skinny part of the brush. I'm lifting off. As I go down, I'm going to grab a little bit more brown. Okay, lifting up. Some strokes are longer than others. All right. I feel like I didn't get enough of the darker brown down here. I'm going to get a couple different shades in here. So get a little darker brown towards the bottom. And then I'm going to wipe off my brush a little bit. And I'm going to grab a little bit of white. No water this time. Okay. Because our paint's wet on here. We're working wet on wet. And I'm just going to highlight a couple of these pieces. A little bit of white, maybe the outside a little bit as well, where the moonlight would be hitting, you know, would be touching. Get a little bit more white. Touch a little bit down here. Maybe touch some of these edges. Okay, so that makes it pop just a little. I'm going to come over here on this side. Little bit of white. Very light touch. Every single stroke is lifting off, okay?